Alright, sorry guys, I got cut off in the middle of the bullet for the last little segment, but we were talking about concrete pipe, and I said it could be purchased in lengths from 4 to 6 feet with a 4 to 16-inch diameters for a non-reinforced pipe, or 12 to 144 inches diameters for a reinforced pipe. Next is concrete tile, which is just as it sounds, tile made of concrete. The color is pressed into the surface of the tile, and some examples are hydraulic cement tiles, mosaic tiles, encaustic cement tiles, Spanish mission tiles, and redondo tiles. Alright, next we have veneer concrete, which is also known as basic precast concrete. And then something you can do with the product is you can make countertops. Concrete, you have to be careful with though. If it's not sealed, concrete can stain and scratch easily, especially with acidic liquids. And if it is sealed with an epoxy sealer, you cannot put hot pots on the concrete because it will melt the sealer. So you could put hot pots on the concrete if it's unsealed, but then you have to deal with the scratches and stains. So pick your poison. And then also the concrete countertops are very heavy, so you want to consider different finishes like a drop-down front edge or dividing lines in the countertop to break up the slabs, thus breaking up the weight of the concrete, or simply using lightweight concrete. Then lastly we have floors, which are laid the same way concrete would be installed outside on the sidewalk, and you have many finish options. Alright, here we go, textures and finishes. So first we have a plain textured, which is just your typical concrete surface. And then we have the stamped, which are imitations made by stamping the concrete with a rubber stamp to look like, for example, cobblestone, fieldstone, slate, and brick. And that's what that picture up in the upper right-hand corner is. Then we have stained, and it's a chemical reaction that makes the chosen color richer and more permanent. So, for example, I have that picture of the fantastic, vibrant, jewel-toned blue concrete floor there. And then we have integrally colored concrete, and this is pigment added to the actual concrete mixture during the making of concrete, but the color is much less intense, as you can see. Alright, exposed aggregate is a rugged textured concrete. It is non-skid and heavy wearing, and you apply a transparent sealer to protect it, and it really shows the kind of true nature of concrete. Then we have stenciled concrete, which is similar to stamped concrete, but instead you use a disposable paper stencil, and that's the example on the stairs there. And then we have engraved, which uses tools to cut brick, tile, or cobblestone patterns into hardened concrete. And this will not wear or loose over time and with traffic, so it will last just as long as any other type of finish you use for the concrete. And that's the bottom picture. Alright, then we have brush hammering, which is the upper left-hand corner picture, and it makes the heaviest texture with a sand cement matrix power tool. Then sandblasting, and that's the picture you see with the guy with the mask and the tube. He's sandblasting, and it's sand applied to concrete to add texture to it. Then we have acid etching, which you use acid to etch the design into the concrete, and sun deck, which is spray on texture, which lowers the temperature of the concrete. Alright, sustainability. Concrete is very sustainable. If you read the report, it goes way in depth on why concrete is sustainable, but basically, the materials can be found all over the world, so there's no shortage of materials for making concrete. It's made up of 3 basic materials, which is water, aggregate, basically crushed rocks, and cement, which is made with low energy usage, and the ingredients are limestone, and they're very sustainable, like the ingredients within the actual cement. So, and then lastly, other building alternatives like steel use more energy to make them, and so therefore concrete is less sustainable. Steel is less sustainable, sorry. Alright, almost done. Disability considerations, or ADA requirements. Concrete is a very slick surface, as I'm sure you all have noticed, especially when wet. So textures need to be put in the concrete with a stamp, or if you're outside with an armor tile, which are the examples there, those yellow pictures. So this prevents people from slipping, or inside if you want to do different finishes to create textures that are also aesthetically pleasing, that would be a good idea so you don't slip and fall. And then concrete is just plain hard. So especially in areas where you're going to be standing a lot, you're going to want to have mats and padded rugs and such, just like the cute little boy there on the red rug. All right, fire codes. Concrete is pretty much naturally fire resistant, although cracking and fractures can occur in the surface under extreme heat. And this is tested by the ASTM E119 for a rating of up to 4 hours. And we're done! Woohoo! Good job, everybody. Good luck studying, and yeah, have fun taking your test.